Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's
Okay,
Friday. We're happy to be
Friday.
here. Wave, everybody. Say hi, Kelly. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Kerri Louise.
Hi.
What a great guest we have today. This is absolutely. Oh, before I get to her, we have to back up. Great show last night, Kelly, with all those people.
Thanks,
I hadn't really heard. Well, I told you. I bet you know Corey Rodriguez, Kerri. He was wonderful, and he had a great backdrop.
Isn't he
Just
great?
His energy. You'd listen to anything he said. And then Dan Crone, I never really heard that much of before. He's really wonderful. I'm thinking, wow, this Corey's going to be a hard act to follow, but he did just fine.
Yeah.
And then I like the younger ones. Amy T was, for me, I really enjoyed her. She was.
Yeah, she's great.
Tell her about the show. Tell all our viewers.
We took our talk show, I'm Fine, and we stopped doing it. And then we decided we were going to do We're Fine, which is a stand-up show. So we had the first one last night. You'll be asked to do it because I'm going to ask all of you to do it. It was really fun. And I think my favorite of the night was Bethany Van Delft because she
yes, of course.
was just like truth talking, and I really, really liked it. It was a lot about stuff that's happening right now in our world, and I thought it was super clever. And I mean, she's so great anyway. And it was just
that was really smart stuff.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. And
Kelly, of course, great MC. So
Jane came to the show. I mean, she was in the same room.
Well, I wanted to support. Do you know what I mean? When you're launching something.
Thank you, Jane.
It's hard out there, so.
It is hard out here for a pimp.
So was it a real show you could actually go to and sit?
No, online. You had to buy a ticket. Yeah.
Eventbrite, though, it looked very official. You got lots of warning.
Yeah. Eventbrite is pretty user friendly.
Yeah.
It looked good. Yeah. It looked very good. Kelly's done other shows on Spreadyard. Is that it? StreamYard.
I never
get that right.
Spreadyard's where I spend my weekend.
Spreadyard is the jam.
Sewing.
All right. Well, anyway, and I'm pleased to say I'm going to be on Kathy's show next Wednesday. That's going to be fun. That'll be great. So I'll introduce Kerri now, but also tell us what's up with you. I'm sure. Oh, wait a minute. One more. Kelly, this weekend you're doing a drive-in, right?
Yeah. I don't mean to brag, but I'm going to be standing on a stage in front of a bunch of cars, and I hope they honk. Yeah, I'm playing a drive-in at the Apex. And tonight I'm at the tent at Prince Pizza on Route 1.
Oh.
So my first outdoors gig. We'll see.
That would be cool. Cool. Okay, now on to our special guest.
All right. You gotta be careful when they beep at you.
I know.
Don't pull out your road rage.
I won't.
That's a compliment.
That's right.
The new normal.
Anyway, all of our friend Kerri Louise has been on The View, Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn. What interested me in your bio, I didn't realize you were you were in the second season of Last Comic Standing. That was early.
Well, I did the pilot for Last Comic Standing.
Also, you were on before Tom, her husband, Tom Cotter, also famous comedian, but right?
We won together. I went further than he did. So, but I did the pilot for it while I was pregnant.
I didn't know that.
I found out I got my first pilot, and I found out I was pregnant with twins on the same day.
That was a big day. Do you have a lot of days like that, Kerri?
Big day. No, big days. And it's like you push back having kids because you want a career. I got both at the same day. And I did the pilot for it, and I couldn't do the first season because I did the pilot. And and they changed it a little bit. And plus, I couldn't do the first season. I had just given birth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh my God. And you were on the Showtime special, Funny Woman of a Certain Age, which is such a great show.
Yes.
That was really, and you were on the first one. There were two.
On the first one, yeah.
That's really, it looked like you guys were having so much fun together. That's what people have said about this show, which is, I think, such a wonderful compliment.
Yeah. It was something magical backstage. We sensed that something real was happening, and it was.
Yeah. Well, It's a great show. I mean, wow, there wasn't a down joke. Everything went bam, ba, bam, bam, bam. And you're thinking, well, collectively, how many years have gone into this? Maybe 100?
Yeah, because we're all women of a certain, we've been around the block every single
Yeah.
And
So
Carol, she booked it. We're all so different. So everyone's going to get something out of that Showtime show. And it's still streaming. So,
oh, no, it's
you guys
absolutely great.
are.
But you had a CD that dropped today. Hello. Thank you for coming to 4 O'Clock Funnies. It's called Love's a Joke. And it's 4 couples. You tell them more about it.
Vicky Cooperman, very funny. She married a comedian, which wasn't smart, and I married a comedian, which was, again, not smart. We're all unemployed. But she was right before this whole thing broke. We were all touring Love's a Joke with couples. Al and Bernadette, Polly, you know them. They're very funny, lovely couple. Yeah. Again, I tried to warn Bernie. Now, Bernie was warned, do not marry. And Bernie and Al was in our wedding. And we still talk, and then like Al's on the road. I'm like, Tom's on the road, and then they call us, and they're like, hey, guess who I ran into? Al. And we're like, wait a minute. And we just did the same cruise. I'm like, is this a gay cruise? Do we not know? Like, are we going to be on Oprah going, we didn't know our husbands were gay?
But you know what was wonderful? I listened to I pre-ordered it because Vicky asked me to.
Thank you. Yeah.
Whatever my friends asked me to. But
number 3 on iTunes.
That's awesome.
The only thing that downloaded, great already. The only one that downloaded was you and Tom at the end. And what a little gem that was. I love that. That was
our comedy team. Tom and I we have a little comedy team on it too.
I didn't know.
Really different. It's like we did the Still a Mirror.
Yeah. Are you going to do more of that? The two of you?
Yeah, we want to.
Honestly, it was so compact and so funny. And at first I'm there like, oh no, is she going to have to be just the setup guy? Do you know what I mean? But then you launched into it. Anyway, it was great. It was equal. It was really well done. What was the thing about the first date? I'm trying to remember.
Our first date?
Yeah.
He treated me like a queen. He took me to Dairy Queen, something like
that. Something like that. Oh, actually though, then while I was walking, I must have gotten into somebody's Wi-Fi on the beach, and it was the skinny jeans one. Oh, yeah. That was really something. The men, they're always trying to fix this. Don't try to fix this. I mean, maybe you could deliver it a little better, but
yeah, we can't fix ourselves. We're crazy women. Can't fix
that was just.
And then I'll tell my husband to divorce me and go ahead, divorce me. Meet a skinny little blonde. Meet that. Go marry that. Young, big boobs. Gonna be great. Perfect for 6 months tops. And then she's gonna be exactly like me.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite joke. Thank you for sharing that. That was really just hysterical. All right, but Love's a Joke is your second CD. I remember way back, Funny Mommy.
Yes, it was Yummy Mummy. Yummy Mummy. I did. All right. So I did Yummy Mummy more than 10 years ago, that CD, Yummy Mummy. And then I wrote a book called Mean Mummy. And my second CD is coming out in July called Funny Mummy. And this
you month. You gotta fucking slow down, all right?
I know. This month is my last episode of Mummy Minute. So
that was actually why I asked you to be on the show, because when I saw, I'm like, no, because I've watched all 100 Mummy Minutes, and one of my favorite, she does a wonderful wrap up at the end. I guess it was the 99th episode.
Right, and I've been working on I'm launching it on June 30th, my last episode, 100th episode. I've been crying all week because I've been looking at all these tapes.
Yeah, that's just, whirlwind. What do you edit with? Do you do iMovie or QuickTime or?
iMovie, yeah, I edit it. Yeah, you say I have a lot of credits, but it's all me. It's nothing big. Like I do it all myself. I'm the writer, the editor, the producer,
but you get the kids to be the cameraman, or Tom is the cameraman.
Yes,
I thought you made good use of your family.
Cameraman, the little
How old are your kids?
They're now, when they started, they were really young. I've been doing this for 9 years. My twins are now 17 years old. And they started when they were 4. I started when they were 4 or 5. And And my little Tommy is just about to be 13.
Are any of them going to go into comedy, do you think, Kerri?
I hope not.
Well, they've got it on both
When I have
sides.
kids, that's my retirement plan. If they go into comedy, we're all screwed.
Patty Rossborough's
Little
daughter.
Tommy is babysitting. He's just started babysitting.
Is he really?
A little mommy helper, right? He came home with $10. He's the only one. He's the only one who has a job in this whole family.
He's smart. He had it made out to cash.
Cash, yeah, and paid for me. Guess who's depositing it? Me.
Yes.
My
And your
account.
neighbor now just has some identity theft going on, but we're sorry about
Yeah.
that.
No, I hope that didn't show.
It didn't.
Actually, we're living with our sons and their girlfriends now,
Oh.
and we're really protecting the girlfriend of one of them. She's the only one who has a job. 6 people, one person has a job, and they're like, "How am I going to go to a good nursing home unless he lands this girl?" You know. So,
Sounds like a good sitcom.
But
Yeah.
today, oh God, but today, no, I'm not going to be the person like Last Comic Standing living in the house like Rich Voss. I never wanted to do Last Comic Standing because I'm like, I could not live in the house with these people. I can barely live with normal people. I don't think, but Rich Voss will always have endeared himself to me for ironing. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
a good
know, I
boy.
remember that. That was funny.
And then he plants trees. But what else? Oh, and you're teaching with Corey Kahaney at Levity Live?
Not at Levity Live. We're doing online teaching. We just kind of started it because no one's doing anything these days.
Right.
So we just did. It's like a little comedy coaching. It's called Comedy Clinic, and it's once a week. And if you want to come and throw out some jokes, we'll help you out.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a great. Oh, so any level you'll do
Any level. Yeah, we ask, and I'll ask you guys too. We do ask pros for special guests if you guys want to come and
Sure. Oh, you mean, and then we become part of the brain trust to help the people.
Yeah, in the chat, so it does help you out a lot because there's a lot of comics just writing things down in the chat, like a tag or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, what
That's
a great
good.
idea.
That's really cool.
That's really smart. Kelly and Kathy have both taught comedy too. I used to sub in for kids in comedy for Karen Bergreen when she couldn't be there. That was
You
fun.
do something, don't you do a talk at the Women Festival? You do it.
The Women in Comedy Festival, I did How to Be a Working Comic, thanks to Kathy. She got me to do the Boston Comedy Chicks. And that's actually how we met. How Catherine Rose came to that.
Okay.
And then Catherine and I are on a thing together called The List, all women group online. And
It's all just coming together.
yeah, no, it's interesting, the overlaps, the little things that happen, and then all of a sudden you're together. But the other good news about Kerri Louise, my Boston girlfriends, is she's originally from Easton, Mass, right next to Brockton.
Okay.
She went to Oliver Ames High School.
Nice.
And her mom's from Brockton.
Yeah, my mom and dad went to Brockton High.
Wow, everything just is coming out of Brockton.
It's true.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
Well, notice how you say coming out of. I think I did hear a few months ago that the mayor's car was set on fire, and I'm thinking, no, it was the mayor's SUV was set on fire. And I'm thinking, oh, the mayor has an SUV.
So yeah, when I moved to Harlem, everybody was like, "Oh, you're moving to Harlem?" I'm like, "Hey, right next to Brockton. This is
right. Harlem's got nothing on Brockton." My son made banana bread last night, the little one. And my husband was laughing, looking at the box. You don't really need a box to make banana bread, but I was so thrilled. I'm trying to encourage him. This is great. Oh yes, we have old bananas. Good idea. So it turns out the mix was from Brockton. It was so cute. No wonder it tasted
I
good.
don't know how that was going to get back to Brockton, but
I know.
It was
a little tangential.
Banana bread is a far stretch to from Boston.
Was it literally just a mix and then you add bananas?
And you add bananas and an egg and water, which really is what you make for banana bread, except you add flour instead of the banana. These people from Brockton always thinking
I would use that.
All right, but speaking of banana bread, my favorite smell is banana bread. What's your favorite smell, guys?
Oh, I didn't know we were going this way.
Are we doing cooking or are we doing like anything?
Anything
goes as far as
anything goes.
I love sunscreen, like the coconut.
Oh yeah.
Yes, banana boat. Speaking of bananas.
Yes,
Banana
banana boat.
boat sunscreen is the coconut.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
You have a
Great
lurker
phone
out.
to recommend. Who is it? My husband.
We have a special
My
guest.
husband's bored,
Are
people.
you at the Cape?
No, I'm in New York. Here he is. He's
What's he
Hey,
doing?
Tom. Great new album, Tom.
Pardon me?
loves a
Great
joke.
new album.
Joke that dropped today. Come.
Yes, I am.
Come.
Loves a joke. Come say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
How are
Only
you?
the third man who's ever been on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. We keep
Honored.
it pretty
Yeah.
tight. We have
Who were the
standards.
first two? That's BS. Who were the first two?
We had Kevin Flynn and Brad.
My level
Brad
guy.
Zimmerman.
Right, he's higher up. He's, of course, it's not at your level, honey.
All right, I'm going to let this
I like
estrogen
the mic.
festival continue. But nice to see you all.
Nice
Can
to
I
I
have
loved your
notebook.
duet with Kerri. I hope you do more of it. It was fantastic. It was
He
a
has
little
another.
bit
Oh, what of us together? He has another Zoom at 5. What time does this end?
down. Oh, you'll be done. You'll be done.
Hey,
4:40.
lovely to see all of you. Stay safe. Nice to see you all.
Okay, you
Bye,
too.
Tom.
He has, to
care.
rent, he has to rent this room.
He had to put it down for conference space.
So
Yeah.
Kelly, did you have a favorite smell? Did I miss it?
Sorry.
No, I didn't say it. I don't know what my favorite smell is. I really like the smell. These are two totally different smells. I like the smell of like when someone just made chocolate chip cookies. I really
Okay.
like that smell. And I also love rose. I like the smell of rose. So
Mm.
like not Nana perfume, but like the smell of rose. I like that.
Who likes
like-
lavender? I love
I like-
lavender.
Yeah.
I like lavender.
I was about to say, I
Yeah.
love the smell of lilacs.
Yeah,
Oh, lilacs. Yeah,
same.
lilacs are the best.
But they say, Kelly, if you are selling a house to make cookies,
Yes, because people
because
are
it's
like,
a comfort
oh.
smell and people like it, and subliminally they'll like your house and buy it.
Or macaroni and cheese. No.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
No, I'm making it up.
I was like, I don't think I've ever smelled that cooking, but I bet it would be
That's
delicious.
powdered cheese.
Yeah,
Do you know the Toll House cookies? The original Toll House with the chips is from Whitman, Mass. Originally.
Do you read all these labels? Like, how do you know all that? What
I
do you
know.
I'm not gonna
Are
do
you
it.
reading labels of where these companies are
Carrie,
from?
Carrie, this is a trash can up here, okay? Once I finish college, I'm there like, well, I gotta fill it with something. You know, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what I actually hate? Speaking of reading all this little stuff, with the quarantine, my husband started going to the supermarket and he said, you wouldn't believe me. They're so impatient, Jane. And I'm there like, oh, I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
He reads everything. He's never been in 30, 40 years. So he's pulling out the box, looking at the calories. I know exactly what happened. I feel so sorry for the people behind him. You know, comparing, contrasting, and just he takes forever in a supermarket. Like I finally gave up, just, I can't. And a lot of the guys don't know the supermarket etiquette. Like you need to put your shopping cart over here so someone can go by you. They're just,
Yeah. That was one of the first things I taught when I was teaching my daughter how to drive, and we went into the parking lot at Shaw's, and it was a Saturday. I'm like, first thing here, this is full of dads, and these lines mean nothing. Nothing. Directionals, islands, it mean nothing. They just zip around the way they want to get out of there faster. So you got to.
I know I'm bouncing a little bit, but since we're all originally from Massachusetts or still there, and Maine, I didn't use my turn signals until about 5 years ago. Do you guys use turn signals?
Yes.
Oh, I thought turn signals were for wussies. It was kind of like, if you can't drive without, you know what? They're very helpful. And the side view mirror is great.
It's the law, Jane.
Yeah, it's the law.
Right. It's
And
like
you
seatbelts.
get
It's not just a
ticket
good
for not
idea.
putting on your turn signal. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I would say that turn signals are for people who don't want to get sued. Like,
Oh,
if
no,
you-
no. Excuse me, I got it mixed up. I said turn signals. I meant I actually do use turn signals. It's the side view mirror. Like, really? Come on. Who
Oh.
uses those?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, you
Mine,
have,
Yeah. Where did you get, did you get your driver's ed in Brockton? See, okay, here it comes.
Right.
Yeah.
Say no more. Right. Going up Main Street, going up Pleasant Street.
Yeah, when we were driving in my area, when I was learning how to drive, we avoided Brockton, and now I know why.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
if you can learn there though, Kerri, you can like drive
Oh,
anywhere.
anywhere.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, no rules. It's very helpful. I know how I found out about the side view mirror though. It came to my attention when I was borrowing my husband's car. I backed it out of the garage and I took off the side view mirror. And he was, I guess, upset. And I said to him, but honey, in my defense, who uses that mirror anyways? And he was like, everybody. Something like, I'm going to give it a try. And then it's actually quite helpful, especially when you're going like really fast. That's a good
How
one.
do you know if someone's in your blind spot? Do you just turn your head?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could do both.
Right.
It's,
You're
Yeah.
supposed
I've
to
learned
do
in
it.
retrospect, it wasn't my best. It wasn't the best thing I ever did. The other thing that I've cut back on, I've really become a much better driver. I used to have a legal pad and I would write the jokes on the legal pad.
Yeah, yeah.
I could picture myself on the cross county. And then I'm like, well, there's no place to stop. Just pick up the pad. But what I do now is I say it into voice memo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Dang, I don't even know how you're left on the road.
That was like texting and driving back then. It's still
Yeah.
it's kind of against
you
the
all
law.
good drivers? I
Yeah,
didn't mean it to take this turn, but are you all good drivers? Do you
Yeah.
drive fast? I don't drive as fast as I used to. I've slowed down.
I like driving by myself. Like, I honestly, when I don't know if you guys think about this, but the one thing I worry about when I retire with my husband is that I would rather let's drive separately. Let's just drive there separately because he doesn't use his blinker. That's
Yeah.
a sign of
Yes,
weakness.
I understand
I
your
get
husband.
that. I get that. But like, I would rather just go by myself. I'll listen to my podcasts.
Yeah.
Crowdsource a murder, and I'll meet you at Jordan's Furniture. Like, we can just go by ourselves instead of having to be there. And he never gives a signal. And if somebody does a minor traffic infraction, he's got to be the guy who teaches people a lesson by boxing them in. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Nobody else has this with it? No.
Tom sometimes will, you have to give him a lesson, and I'm always driving saying, don't do that. You don't know what he has in his trunk.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, road rage is not, I learned that was not a good idea on West 96th Street. I inadvertently cut somebody off. I would never do it on purpose.
Geez, I wonder how that happened.
Well, and he came, and then they're like, oh, I made a mistake. I got to get the hell out of here. And then the light went red, and I'm there like, oh, this is bad. He actually got out of his car. He pounded on I maybe should have gone through the red light to get away from him. I had a feeling it had upset him. When they start riding in your trunk afterwards, it's a signal.
Yeah.
Anyway, he came up and he pounded on my window. I was really scared. And he said, you're a mother fucking bad. And all I kept thinking was, that is not an adjective. But then the light turned and then I
Booted.
but
I like how
my
you
heart was
take
just
off, but
racing.
you-
I mean, I wouldn't intentionally hurt anybody.
Thanks for that.
I'm not going to use all of the mirrors that are at my disposal.
Okay, so I got another question. Enough of Jane's poor driving habits. But I have slowed down. So don't worry about me.
Well,
and
we
that
weren't
is
worried about
okay.
you, Jane. We were worried about us.
Oh, yeah, no, I meant
The other drivers
Around you.
yes, I totally agree. And I'm not going to bore you with the fact that Ken sits in the back seat when we drive from Massachusetts back to Connecticut, so he can spread out his stuff. And
What
I'm
are you,
like,
Uber
just call
driver?
me James. Call me James.
I have a question. What does Ken do again? What does he do?
He cooks. He's retired.
He's Jane's
so-
life coach.
He-
So, like, what's
Oh.
he spreading out then in the back seat?
Oh, he'll work until he dies. I mean, I think I will too. I like to work.
Yeah.
But it's his papers. He has meetings. I don't know who he's talking to, but I'm happy he's busy.
Tom came in too. He had his papers. Like,
Yeah, he had a notebook.
Yeah.
He's got a paper.
I mean, he doesn't even tell me anymore. He's there. I have Zoom calls now at 1 and 4 o'clock. I'm like, okay.
But he's retired. But he's retired?
retired. He'll never stop. He's quite busy guy, So when I first met him, I dated his roommate for 6 years. He was in like actor director, and I wanted to be a lawyer. And then years later we switched, and I went off the rails. Unfortunately, he's a businessman, and sorry to keep looking away. The FedEx guy is here.
Yesterday it was a guy in a Penske truck.
I'm the guardian.
That's right.
I'm sorry. I see all the trucks coming in. I'm like the guardian of the house. So you
What
through the FBI agent's door.
What is he doing
Okay, so
in
no
my
question.
yard?
We
Look, if
never
you had
stay
a
on
choice,
track. We never stay on track.
if you had a choice, I'm sorry, Kerri Louise, I'm a little ADD. I don't know if you knew this about me before. It's come in this pandemic. It's become expanded. I
Yeah,
don't know.
everything is. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Shut up. Anyway, I don't. All right. If you had a choice, man, I hope we're running out of time. Okay, we're getting there. If you had
I
a
hope that's
choice,
the promo for the show.
who would you quarantine with?
Oh.
Do I go first?
You can go first.
Oh, really?
Whoever wants to go first. I'm
Okay,
trying to
well,
be
it can be anybody in the world.
anybody in the world.
Well, right now it would have to be my father.
Oh, that's so
Uh-huh.
nice. Why is that? Is he sick?
No, he just had heart surgery and he's recovering, but it would have to be him right now.
Oh,
But
That's
if I wanted to be, like, it would be, George Carlin.
oh, oh, good. We can quarantine with dead people. Good.
No,
that
that's
you
not-
just expanded my horizons.
You didn't
Right.
I said anybody.
Yes,
You
anybody.
say they have to be alive.
Yeah, I didn't say that. That's true. I like these people. Wouldn't it be? Never mind. I'll let someone else go. I was going to say, wouldn't it be interesting to quarantine with Attila the Hun, just to see what he was like?
Horrible Uno player.
It's for a long time, right? It's not like for the afternoon.
Lousy at puzzles.
You're gonna have to share a bathroom.
I think so. Kathy, who would you quarantine with? Anybody in the world, live or dead? But a
Catherine Zeller.
person. We're not expanding this that much.
Catherine Zeller. She's the attorney who's trying to get Brandon Dassey, Stephen Avery from Making of a Murder. She's trying to get him off. She does a lot of like people who have been convicted of murders, and she tries to get them off.
Kerri,
And
these two women love murder mysteries. Every time
Yeah.
they start talking, all I hear is
I feel like I could learn something from her. Also, I think she would give me a lot of dirt, like later at night when she's tired and we're drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just sitting there chatting. Did she
What
give me the dirt?
station is she on? What channel?
She's not on any channel. She's just a person in an office with really well manicured hands,
Yeah.
getting people off death row.
Who deserve to be on death.
Well, some of them might, but some of them don't. Some of them don't.
Yeah.
So she's a hell of a lawyer. Like if we ever need a lawyer.
Yeah. She's a great
Yeah.
lawyer.
Yeah, yeah.
Kelly, how do you know about her?
Making a Murderer. She's the attorney. She picked up the case. She runs like a coalition for wrongly accused. And then it's her life's work now as a lawyer to try to get people off. That's not who I would want to be.
Okay, who would you?
Because I feel like she would talk a lot, Kath. Like I feel like she would never stop talking. Do you know what I mean?
I really like because we could build our own wall with red string and everything, and we could solve things together.
That would be fun. I would say probably either Prince or Betty White. Because Prince,
Betty
I think,
White.
just would be like wicked, like
What a
kind of
good
like
choice.
a sexy weirdo, and Betty White would be
Right.
like, "What do you want to do now?"
She probably has a lot of medications that you're gonna have to keep like.
Yeah, that's fine.
very good.
So do I. I mean,
I think that's a great choice.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Betty White, wow.
I wonder if she is like nice, like you know, when the doors are closed.
She
She
has
seems
to
so
be.
sweet and charming, but I
It's
wonder
okay.
if she would be in real life. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys earlier were talking about which golden
about
girl would
you?
you be? Wasn't Betty White a golden girl?
mhm.
Yeah.
I'd like to be the big one. No, I think I'd like to be the, I don't even know them. This
Who,
is
the
like a
author?
murder mystery.
But who are you gonna quarantine with?
Yeah, who are you
Oh,
quarantining with?
me. Well, now that we've gone to live and dead, I go to fictional. Peter Pan. I like Peter.
Oh,
I was Peter Pan in high school, and then that was the end of my acting career. It all went downhill after that. Well, when they
if
do
you
that,
guys- if you- just a little information, if you guys want to ever do a murder, plan a murder, because you guys are so into murders, make sure you don't have Jane in the getaway car driving the getaway.
actually, I think that's exactly who I want driving the
thank you
getaway
for
car.
bringing it all
Jane is-
around, Carrie.
Carrie,
You
did
have
you
a
know that
logical
Jane
mind.
Patsy?
That's-
Jane
wouldn't-
yeah.
was a gun.
Jane doesn't look behind her, so she'd never know the cops were after her.
I'll buy the gas.
No.
I'll buy the gas, and I'll have the tank. I'll be your getaway car. I'll get the shovel beforehand from
I
Home
like it.
Depot. I think we should have some knives and saws, and I'll get the plastic bags. I'll get the
Why do we
little
need knives and saws when you pack heat? We don't need knives and
That's
saws.
true.
Oh, yeah, no. Unfortunately, something that's come out of this show, Kerri Louise, is that I have a gun. I don't have a real gun. I mean, I have a BB gun, but you know,
I do too. I have 3 boys. I have a lot of BB guns,
right? Aren't they great?
bow and arrows, all that stuff.
Yeah, they're really. So, how's it going with the boys? That's a lot.
I see a couple of them running around in the back of me right now. I
It's
thought
all right.
can you shut
Nobody-
the door and shut the
I see one.
yeah,
That's
there's
Tommy, right?
little Tommy. He Nerf fights. I have Nerf fights all over the place all the time. So with the boys, they're all nocturnal now, including
Oh.
Tom. So I'm ready to go to bed. I just cleaned the kitchen. Everything's all nice. And then they decide to have hamburgers at 11 o'clock at night.
Oh
And
man.
make nachos. And so I wake up to a greasy mess.
Oh
That's
my
my
God.
life.
Does everybody have a lot of rules in their house now? Now that we're living with the 2 boys and their girlfriends, we can't flush before 8 a.m. The
How
dishwasher,
come?
because they don't get up until after 8 a.m. Like we're up, we go to bed
Oh.
early and get up like 6:30. And if we flush, we awaken them. And Ken is actually trying to disable the dishwasher ding ding as we speak, because last night it woke them up because it went off.
Are they
They're
light
like sleepers.
What?
Are they light sleepers?
Their 2 rooms are actually like next to the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You
Yeah,
talk like
so
they're
that-
like newborns. Like when they go down, everyone's just quiet.
Let me put him down.
But again, the girlfriend is the only one with a real job, so we're all trying to. Yeah, let's. keep
Hmm.
it-
I feel like you're just trying to sell your family to the girls. Like, look at us.
I
Oh, we are.
question,
No,
Jane.
I am in total sales mode. I'm trying to.
Jane, do you let them sleep in the same room with their girlfriends?
Good question, Kelly.
Thank you, Care.
Yes, of course.
But
But
they're- how old-
your kids are all younger.
Yeah, how old are your boys?
My boys are in their 30s. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
beyond choice. Okay, so then moving down the scale, Kathy, you have 2 20-year-olds.
I have a
What would you do?
21 and a 24-year-old.
So what would you do if they came home with a boy? What do you do?
Well, one is gay, so I'd be like, oh, that's weird.
She'll let them sleep with their boyfriends.
Yeah.
Right. No sleeping with the girlfriend. All
I'd be
right.
like, huh, all right. That's a change.
Yeah, it's equality in our house. So no, nobody shares. Like we have a guest room, and they're welcome to stay over, but not in the same room. Regardless, Jesse has a. Remember, Jesse dates that Russian guy who
All
does
right.
Yeah.
mushroom pictures.
Right.
Um,
He's wooing his potential mother-in-law with pictures of mushrooms.
Yes,
I don't think
that's
he's going to make the
he
cut, but okay.
photographs of wild mushrooms and gives them as gifts. I will tell you that we do have a new rule in our house.
Okay.
Pandemic, which is that Jeff can't make another muscle shirt for himself. Now Jeff is into being outside a lot and weeding. And the other day he discovered that he's just going to cut the sleeves off one of the shirts that he was going to give away to charity. And he really liked the way that looked. And yesterday I discovered he made 3 more of them.
Oh no.
Oh,
And
no. No. There's a 4 t-shirt limit for, yeah.
I love that rule. I mean, I'm glad you made it after 3 because now he has 3.
Okay, Kerri, so you have the next group down. You have teenagers, and then Kelly has one in middle school, right? Or
He's
freshman?
well, he's a high school, 15.
Okay, but I think you still have the youngest. Okay, so Kerri, what would your, no, they can't sleep with anybody if they're teenagers.
No, and when girls come over, no one's allowed. Girls come over, they're not allowed in the bed. I don't even allow TV in their bedroom.
Oh.
Oh, good for you.
Good.
But yet they have their computer.
Well, they have their
Yeah.
phones. Yeah,
But you can
right.
say that though, Kerri, like there's no televisions in my children's rooms.
Yeah, I know. Like I sound so great.
You know, you guys are a different generation.
For sleeping, and you need peace and tranquility.
Any rules
Not
with
about, but
girls?
that's not
Kelly?
their phones. The older ones are a little lenient. They can have their phones, but I'm sorry. What did you say, Jane?
No, I'm curious what age you gave your kids phones, because I didn't have to go through that.
Oh.
Yeah,
What's
it's
the right age? There's got to be such pressure.
Well, nowadays, as soon as they get out of the womb, you hand them a phone.
I think that's, is it like 10? It depends on where you live, I guess.
Mine was 10.
I
No.
think,
How old are you? It was 6th grade.
yeah, 6th grade.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I did
yes.
too. Right.
6th grade, because
That would
Yeah.
be age 12 about, I think,
10
10 or 11. Yeah.
he was 10.
11.
So
Yeah, because then you can just make sure that you know where they are. Like it
Right.
becomes a convenience thing. For your
Yeah,
kids.
I love
You
that
can
you can
track 'em.
track them.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one on my sister, so I know when she's coming.
No
I
wonder
have
you're
it on
looking
my
out
boys.
the
Too.
window.
I have the 360 on my boys, so I know where they are, but they also know where I am. So they have a warning when I'm coming home.
Oh,
Then all the girls are out of the bedroom, TVs are out of the bedroom.
That's the best way because then you just don't even have to know.
yeah.
Right.
Honestly, I think that's the best way to just see nothing. Just, I guess I wasn't. I just want a grandchild. Okay, I'm trying to get the girls into the bedroom.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
Oh.
that's why you don't have that rule. You're like,
Right. It's working the other way right now.
That's why there's no noise in the morning. Everybody's sleeping.
Yeah.
Well,
You're like,
I don't
oh,
wanna
you
hear
guys
it
are going
now
to bed? Let me turn
Now
on the
that we're
Barry
all living
White.
together, I don't want to hear it. Okay, like I better be out of the house. I better be dead. That's what I better be, because I don't ever want to hear that.
Jane will now have rules, bedtimes. You got to go to bed at 8.
Yeah.
You got to be in that bed, both of you, alive and well, and here, have some perfume.
Have some
the white
lavender
noise?
perfume.
Right.
But like, wait until their girlfriends are so nice. That's why I'm very eager to, even more than the grandchild, I just want someone to talk to, It's like enough of these crazy people. Kerri, you know very well what I'm talking about. It's like, what I do like about boys is they're direct. There's no manipulate. They're not smart enough. They don't manipulate, it's like, say what they want, and then I have to make it happen. But it's like, but I've learned to like that directness. I think that makes life a little easier. But well, this is fucking hilarious now. All right. So
We didn't ask about Michael.
Oh, there are no girls.
oh right.
Yeah,
It's better that way, Kel.
I know. He's in that in between. I mean, he likes girls and he talks about girls, but there's no girls.
Keep that stage as long as you can.
Yeah.
He killed all my boys' relationships.
Yeah, like he's
What killed them?
Quarantine.
Oh, good.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's
Tough on these kids now. You know what I think is kind of cute is they're having to meet girls and court them the old-fashioned way. They don't go straight to sex. Like now they got to chat them up.
yeah.
I think is great. And then they have to be accepted by the or in teams or the families. You know, like if you can go on a date. I'm really talking 20 and 30-year-olds now who are out of the house. They have to be accepted into their bubble.
That's right.
All right. Well, I'm out of questions. Kerri, what's the last thing we should say about all of your accomplishments?
Well, you mean where to find me?
Yeah, I mean merch. We got to push the merch.
Okay. Well, you can buy. Here's something that doesn't have mummy in the title. You can buy Harry the Elephant Has an Elegy. I wrote a children's book, so it's about it's just a funny little book that kind of normalizes allergies. Children, all kinds of fun allergies for children.
That's great.
That basically start the conversation. So if your kid has an allergy or someone knows, everybody knows someone who has an allergy.
Oh yeah, my whole family. My throat, I keep clearing it because I got the allergies. I wish this season would settle down. It rained this morning, we were so happy about it. So listen, Kerri, it looks like you're just kicking back and relaxing and doing nothing.
Yeah, well, right now too, you can buy that on Amazon, and you can also buy Mean Mommy on Amazon, and that soon is coming to a audiobook. So I've been recording my book.
That was it.
During this quarantine, and that is the hardest thing to do, to record your own words and read. First of all, I have dyslexia, so it's very hard to read. And I don't know how I wrote a book, but there's Google. Google knows how to spell. And Google knows me. I love Google is much better spell checker than the spell checker. The spell checker is like, I don't know what you mean. And Google's like, you mean this? It took me 5 hours to try to learn how to spell hors d'oeuvres. But Google got it. No one else was like, what are you trying to, Google's like, did you mean hors d'oeuvres? I'm like, yes, I love hors d'oeuvres.
Thank you, Google.
So that's your
my cocktail party. Thank you. I've been doing that, and that's really, really difficult to do.
Wow.
And so
I'm happy though that it's going to be in your voice. I think that's great.
Yeah. It's going to be.
And I just want to say, I want to bid a fond farewell to Mummy Minute because I really enjoyed it, and the bloopers were the last one, and they show. I think who's the tall one? Cameron.
Harrison is the tall. Yeah.
They showed Kerri had to pretend to be drunk. What a stretch. Anyway, but she had all the, like she'd just been there like, I can't stand this anymore. And then she's having all these drinks. And then she'd go and lean on her son. What a good kid. And say, and then they'd do it again. Like, I can't take these kids anymore. And then she'd lean on her son and wipe away bottles or something. And then there'd be another take. And I'm like, this kid is a prince. Any other kid would have left the room.
They are so, well, I pay them. But they are, and not much apparently, because they are so happy. They complain all the time doing the Mommy Minutes. This is one of the reasons why I'm ending it, because it's just to get them to do it now. It's pulling teeth.
It's going to be great for when they get married, though. Just think of the slideshow. It'll be wonderful. And I hope you feature, if you ever do an outtake of the best of, which would be impossible with 100 of them. But I like you hiding in the bushes. I love you in your kitchen. I got to see your kitchen. That's wonderful. Not many bedroom shots, but I think
there is a few.
Almost my favorite episode was you. Oh, I like some snow ones. I like family photographs, but you singing Adele on the hood of your station wagon was like, that was beyond.
So unfortunately, I did the Adele one, and it was just about getting heat. And some other mother who did an Adele one, told on me that it was, I was, what do you do? Artist rights, that it was
copyright.
Because she had one, she knocked it off of YouTube. So for 10 days for me to finally get back the Adele back on, it took 10 days. And she wasn't even as funny as mine. I thought mine was funny.
Oh, I think there's something like a 10-second rule for, well-known music. How did she get it off of yours? I thought on YouTube only you could take down.
She went to, and YouTube took it off because of her.
She
found out that she told, and I'm like, we found the person who took it off, who I had to argue with, and then we Googled her, and she had she had a show. She had a Mommy Minute parody. But parodies are okay. But
if this ever happens again, you have people from Brockton, Easton,
Yes.
Medford, Natick. You will pay that person a
Don't get her
call.
started.
You don't mess with 4 o'clock funny girls.
Yeah, I
You
know.
won't. I can hear Cat Rose, you're coming on this effing trip
That's
too,
right.
all right?
Oh,
You're gonna
That's
drive
okay, we'll just
because
be like,
I'm gonna drive, that's for sure.
you're definitely gonna drive. I didn't know it was such a big deal to be a good driver. I'm a good driver. I always have snacks. That
I
makes
think you're a
me-
good driver, Jane.
I am a good driver. It's just all these little side things are coming out.
You
today.
do late night driver too. You
Oh, I'm a
do
good.
late-
Oh, wait a minute. So we have to give tips to upcoming comedians about the late night driving. Like after a show and we're driving late, you call your friends on the West Coast and you play rap music and you open the window when it's cold. Any other tips for the young ones so they can stay awake when they're driving home?
I always have snacks in the car. Like
Mhm.
my biggest thing is I always have a snack cake. So if I do well, I eat it. And if I don't do well, I eat it.
And you can slap yourself. I used to slap myself.
Yeah,
Oh,
me too.
I slap
Okay.
myself. That's my lap. When I start slapping myself, I'm like, I better start looking for a rest area because that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
When
But people always ask me as a comic, like, how do you do it? I would fall asleep. I never had a problem driving at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. The times that I had problems was for driving to the gig. When it was a faraway gig and you
Yeah.
had to, drive, you had to get up early to drive. But that 4 o'clock in the afternoon with the sun beating
Yeah.
down, or not. So there was time, whenever I pulled over, it was like
That's
4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I
Oh,
had
and
to-
you take a little nap. I
Yeah.
never could nap before this. I mean, there've been times driving back from Boston, it's like 1 o'clock, 1:30, sort of I've done until 2. That's kind of my outer limit. And then I just pull over and I take a nap or I drink another Diet Coke and then we're off to the races. What I hate are the snowy ones.
Yeah.
Those will kill you
Yeah.
because it's dangerous,
Yeah.
frankly. And I like to get home and sleep in my own bed. So anyway.
Same.
All right. Well, I won't be carpooling with any of you, but Kerri, but I do have snacks like
If we
Kathy.
do carpool, I'm driving.
Yeah, fine. I'll sit in the back seat with my papers
Yeah.
for the first time. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Kerri Louise, just your output is mammoth. Mommy Minute was a gift. And
Yeah.
it's, just keep going. You're doing great.
Thanks for having me.
You're just killing it. So thanks for coming. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Have a great weekend, guys. Good
Bye,
shows.
everyone.
Bye. Love you
Bye,
guys.
Kat.
Bye. Bye, Kat. Bye, Kelly.